And we are live. Thanks for tuning in, Sun Types. Looking at Sunspot 2739. I will be back in about 1 minute. And thanks for tuning in, folks. We see a new sunspot's just recently formed. Let's look at it on the colored magnetogram. For some reason, the music has shut down. Let's get it back up. I guess I moved my files. There's the colored magnetogram. And the 10.7 centimeter radial flux has gone back up to, I believe it's at 77 now. So let's look at one more view here. How about 171 angstroms? My personal favorite. Great view there as Sunspot 2738 sets and 2739 forms, and it's already beta class, so we've got two fields. We have both polarities, that is. Yes. And let's look at the magnetic lines. Actually, let's leave that like it is. And we'll look at the 193 angstroms view here as well to look for coronal holes. And we do see a bit of a field of coronal holes there in the south and the southeast, raising earthquake risk a little bit. As many of you are already aware, earthquake risk goes up at solar minimum. And before we move on, let's talk about something completely different, the sport of cycling. Now, I don't talk about my birthday much or do anything to celebrate it. However, if you'd like to send me a present, go to GoFundMe. We're raising $5,500 by May 1st, as I've got a lot of things to do this year that I can't afford. And part of the reason I'm able to do these videos is because I've never sold out to anybody. I've never collected any government taxpayer money, although I've been offered jobs with Homeland Security, and I do have a government security clearance currently, if you were wondering. Now I ride for the Velo Shop, which is the official bike shop of the Lehigh Valley Velodrome, a world-class level cycling mecca, and we'll have all kinds of athletes at Olympic level and at various national, local levels. Everybody gets together and we do an event called Thursday Worlds. It's actually called the Thursday Night Crits. And you can go there and stand about 5 inches away from people going 40 miles an hour. Current Olympians, current world team members, everybody's there. Cycling Hall of Fame members. And if you'd like to get some killer bikes, head to theveloshop.net. For some reason, it keeps sending me to tires. I don't know what's... Oh, there we go. All right. There we go. Okay. That was Brave Browser's fault, by the way, not the veloshop.net's fault. And I hear they're getting in 10 felts, one of which I will be purchasing. on Friday. Actually, they'll be getting it in Friday. I won't be purchasing it yet. I want to minimize the amount of money that I put on a credit card here, folks. So anyway, I don't see it on the list here. It's the Felt AR3. Anyway, let's move on. So this day in history, Paul Revere made half of Paul Revere's famous ride, while Robert Dawes made the other half because, I'm sorry, William Dawes made the other half, as Paul Revere sat in a British military prison because he only made part of his ride. But what's the moral of the story here, folks? Be a Minuteman, okay? Especially you Americans out there. Stick with the tradition of Paul Revere. Try to save the asses of your people and people in your neighborhood. One of the ways you can do that is to set up a Nextdoor account. You ever heard of it? Nextdoor.com. Head there. If you don't have one in your neighborhood, create one in your neighborhood like I did. People will be able to sell each other stuff, recommend contractors, trade things, etc. Oh, look, even Nancy Pelosi's a member. Who knew? And by the way, part of the reason I make these videos, folks, is because I'm not only smAsho, but I'm also a client. That's right, I watch my own videos, believe it or not. You think I'm out of my mind? I don't really care. Anyway, we need more music, so how about whatever I end up on here? Ketchup. I don't know what that is. Geez, pardon the foul language, folks. Let's play Crankin' House and stuff. Yes, this one's called Crankin' House, folks. It is Hospital. Yes, Hospital. I'm not sure what that one's going to be. We got a bunch of short tracks here, and that is all good. Let me see. Here's one by Arabian coming up 2 tracks from now. All right, let's get back to the space weather stuff here, as we don't want the video to be too long, and I don't want to be too old. And by the way, the world 1-hour record was broken yesterday. To many people, this is the most coveted prize in cycling. People ride crazy ass bikes like this one, and it just got broken again yesterday by a Belgian, I think, at least on a Belgian team. 2 days ago, new record of 55 kilometers, baby. Nice. Only 27 years of age. I would like to note that there were some old ladies that broke the record recently at age 42 and 41. So just saying, folks, you may be surprised at how fast I'm able to go at age 43. So stay tuned. Let's look at the real-time solar wind and see how fast it's going. It looks like it's going 314 kilometers per second. Now, we just had a density fluctuation there. We're expecting that to be the beginning of an ongoing density spike. So that's something to keep an eye on throughout the day. Everything else is pretty not noteworthy. Pretty unnoteworthy. Is that a word? I'm not looking it up. I'll leave that up to you, our viewer. Here's the gong too, showing us the magnetic environment, which has just gained complexity once again as a new sunspot has formed. Wow, this is an old track, folks. Let me see what else we got here. Oh, here we have a Trailer Park Boys cut for all of you fans of Trailer Park Boys.
Who's a good boy? You look kind of French with your little mustache there. I'm going to call you Steve French.
About Steve French, the mountain lion. You got to have that. How about Synchro? All right, that's a good one. I apologize for the delay, folks. Just a little bit of track placement here. We're trying to keep the video down to 30 minutes today. So let's head to spaceweathernews.com and look at the X-ray flux. Excuse me. X-ray flux is flatlined. Although the likelihood of some X-ray flares has gone up a little bit, those sunspots are small. There's a magnetometer looking pretty smooth. KP is at 0. So cosmic ray human health alert in effect. There's the GOES electron flux. We do see a pretty significant fluctuation here where the lines crossed. But we didn't see a big dip, and we could see a big dip as we are seeing a density spike. So remember, the solar wind density is made up of protons, and that's what causes the electron flux dip. We see no charging hazards, and the F2 layer is looking quite normal, a little on the discharge side, but real basic, real basic. Here's your aurora forecasts, and they are quite small. And let's look at cosmic rays as we did yesterday. And we do about 3 times a week. So here's Apatity and Barentsburg. Nothing too special going on there right now. Little spike early in the day yesterday at Barentsburg. Here's Athens. We have been seeing some fluctuations in this one. And there's a spike going on right now. If you're feeling psychic, if you know what I'm thinking, if you think I'm going to go to Mexico City next, you're exactly right. There's the cosmic ray data from Mexico City. Next, we'll look at Moscow, who we are stoked that they are returning data. Thanks, Moscow. We thought you moved to Barentsburg and Apatity, but apparently you're back to returning data, so cheers. And lastly, we've got Oulu and Antarctica A and B, DOMC and DOMB, that is. There's Oulu. There's DOMC Antarctica. And there's DOMB Antarctica. Don't be DUMB. Know what cosmic rays are and what kind of effects they have on things. Next, we'll show you what's going on the Enlil forecast here, because that's going to show you the density spike that has been predicted. And it looks like it's showing up a little late if it's going to be as big of a spike as the prediction. And here's a graphical illustration of what it's supposed to be. And you are right about here. Well, that's great. It'll repeat that small area. By the way, this track called Honey, I Shrunk Your Soul is located at our SoundCloud page, which is in the links beneath this video in the description. But don't go there now if you're still watching the live stream. Let's look at the X-ray imager, as there's probably some bit of X-rays coming out of the newly formed Sunspot 2739. Anyway, you can see it on the imager here. It has crackled into life just after passing by the Earth-facing region. So, welcome to the solar system, Sunspot 2739. Actually got the magnetosphere movies, as we do every day, just to crunch the data. Yes, you can look at these videos for the past hundreds of days. So we'll look at the velocity first. Now, you can't access the information at the University of Michigan. You can't request the old data, but you can look at our old videos and at least see 4 hours of it. Here's the density. we'll let that play all the way through. And we see some fluctuations there, similar to what we see on the real-time solar wind data. Lastly, we have the pressure, and it's very low, folks. Talking about a weak magnetosphere, and that one's not loading. And I don't want to show anybody my scratch disk. You don't want to see what's on my scratch disk. Here's a really old song featuring C4's dog, the Great Dane Aries. It's a pretty loud track to be playing so early in the morning, but so be it. All right. Trying to keep it as short as possible, folks. This one is not playing, though. There we go. Now it's loading. All right. There's the pressure. And we'll let that play all the way through as another form of a data archive. Wow, that's really weak. The Bow-Shock-Van Allen belt portion of the noon to midnight meridional plane image. Wow, super weak magnetosphere. Despite an increase in the solar wind density. So the shields are down, basically, folks. Let's look at the geospace ground perturbations. First, we'll look at the situation over the poles. And we don't expect to see very many perturbations here. But let's allow it to play anyway. I got to upload this song. This is a pretty good one. By the way, there are hundreds of songs, folks. And like I said, 100% independent, never sold out. Only 3 people contributed to any of them. So most of them are 100% me, but some of them have contributions from other folks. Namely Dr. Sam Afif, aka Arabian Nightmare. And Mr. Nunamaker, aka C4. My fake name was Vi Chang back then. That was my fake name, Vi Chang. Yes. Also, Ocho Nueve was another fake name. Let's look at earthquakes real quick. See a 4.4 at Ecuador, 5.1 south of Panama. See a 4.3 at Indonesia at depth. And I would just like to draw in the warning areas right now, folks, because the 7 magnitude earthquake drought continues. So if you live in these areas, or if you know somebody who does, make sure they have a plan. Because you're better off having a plan than not. Even if nothing happens, at least you may know which portions of buildings may be falling off as you run for your life to escape crumbling buildings. Be an asset instead of a liability. Be a Minuteman. Here's a 4.9 at Peru. 4.9 at Papua New Guinea also. 4.2 at Afghanistan. 4.5 at Japan. 4.9 at Papua New Guinea. 4.9 at Papua New Guinea at 5.2. So that's a swarm going on in the same place, folks. 4.6, also in the same location. I doubt there was a tsunami, but let's look anyway. No current watches, warnings, or threats. And for that, we thank you. So we see a 5.6 at Chile. That's the largest in South America for a while. Don't quote me on when. And here's the largest quake. This one looks bad. A lot of warnings look like they lit up on that one, folks. Just barely off the coast, although they are pretty well built in Taiwan, pretty prepared. If anybody knows the situation there, let us know. Leave a comment. And here's a real weird one right in the middle of Africa, in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Here's the location of this one. Right in the National Park de Malawi. I can't read that because it's covered by a star. Parc National de la Marco. All right. And that's the earthquake situation. That last one there is pretty weird. Right in the middle of Africa. A little bit to the west of the rift zone, I believe. Although don't quote me on that. I am not a geologist. Let's look at the pressure maps here. I guess that's as far out as I can zoom, folks. I thought I could zoom out a lot farther than that, but anyway. So there's Oceania. See a powerful low off the coast of Japan, as well as a powerful low south of Alaska there. Yet another one right over the Great Lakes. And we have a major convergence going on here. Some heavy storms kicking off in the U.S. This thing is not working. Let's look at volcanoes before we look at more weather. We're going to look at more weather in a minute. Let's just run down the list of volcanoes first and play some more music. And nothing's work. I'm clicking it over and over again, folks. It ain't working. Let's play Tilt-A-Whirl. All right, we got 5 more minutes of tracks loaded there. Volcanoes of today are Shivaluch with a 13,000-foot ash plume. Mount Ebu with a 7,000-foot ash plume. Bromo with a 10,000-foot ash plume. Dacono, continuous volcanic ash, producing a 7,000-foot ash plume. Don't fly over that one with your hang glider or with your wingsuit. Shout out Tom Waltermeyer if you're listening. Don't fly over Dacono in your wingsuit. Rupahu. Rupahu in North Island. I have no idea where that's located. Please show me. Oh, check it out. A New Zealand volcano is on the list. Dude, that's serious. And we see volcanic tremors. After reaching record low temperatures in August, the volcano's closely monitored crater lake has started to heat up very quickly since 2 September. Well, I'll be. I don't know too much about Rupahu, or if I'm even pronouncing it correctly. But that is a new one on the list, and a pretty important one considering where it is, on the North Island. Leave us a comment if you know some facts about Rupahu, as we got to keep moving. Fuego producing a 18,000-foot plume in Guatemala, and Revenador producing a 15,000-foot plume in Ecuador, and Sabancaya emitting continuously. Please support us on Patreon so we can continue to do what we're doing every day. Believe me, it's tough. Also, if you'd like to send us $5,475 on PayPal, that's how much we still have to raise. But if you do that, it'll go straight to me. And if you want to sponsor this team, if you're a corporate sponsor out there watching, email me at smashomash@gmail.com. And I will get you in contact with the owner of this team. And if you're wondering about cycling, we do have somebody who's going to be going to the Olympics in 2020. So if you want some serious ad space, you'll be contacting Becky Quinn, preferably through me. And yeah, it's serious. Yeah. So yeah, you can head to paypal.me/smAshomash. Also in the links, if you want to send cash directly. It can be anonymous, or I can give you a shout out. By the way, thanks everybody who's been helping to fund this smAsho channel, as our budget is a little bit bigger than nothing nowadays. Also, check us out on Minds, a new and an up-and-coming social network that won't censor you or throttle your content, and you can even convert your you can basically convert your views to cryptocurrency, and you can actually make money on the site. Yes, that's right. So we don't do that much activity on here, but we're about to enable smAsho staff to start posting for us here, like they're doing on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, you've got people that are on Twitter that don't watch YouTube, for instance, you can actually see our videos directly on Twitter. Now, I don't tweet. I don't even have an account. This is only smAsho staff doing this, and they're only posting stuff. We're not going to really interact on here. However, if you want to interact, head to smashomash.org. That's a real thing. smashomash.com is just a clone site of this. It's got our links, and we are updating this soon. We actually have a contractor already. We just have to get together with the contractor and tell the contractor what to do and provide the graphics. The mission of the nonprofit shall be to assist, study, and report on the ongoing formation of a unified theory of physics, to raise the awareness of the general public of the relationship between space weather and Earth effects, to connect and consult with media organizations to multiply our reach, to demonstrate cutting-edge proof of concept solutions to problems, to publish scientific papers in a multidisciplinary manner, including sciences such as spectroscopy, chemistry, astrophysics, health, wellness, longevity, cosmology, biology, magnetohydrodynamics, geology, etc. Not limited to those, folks. To assist mankind by advancing the study of predictive phenomena in order to optimize value, reduce risk and liability, save lives and resources, and adapt no matter what the adversity is. And lastly, to not be ossified in our beliefs and to treat those who are with love, respect, and inclusion to the scientific discussion. Here's the U.S. Doppler radar situation, and it's pretty bleak in the south central U.S. Mike Tyson, please don't come over and punch me in the face because I'm playing this song. We love you, buddy. And we wish you all the luck on your cannabis farm operation thing that you got going on your ranch, wherever it is. Mike Tyson. You will hear him on this song. And I don't want to get punched in the face by that guy, let me tell you. He is a badass. And these storms are badass. Really badass. Let me break out the chat here. All right, so we clearly have a Sasquatch fart going on right here. Not there. Going on right here. That is serious Sasquatch fart territory. I know Kentucky and Tennessee are able to sustain Sasquatches. So if you're in those locations, I would look for an N95 organic filtering gas mask. I'm gonna get an N95 that will protect you from any effects of the Sasquatch farts. Seriously though, folks, those are some nasty storms right there. And be prepared for that if that's coming your way. You are on a severe thunderstorm warning. I can tell just by looking at the radar. I don't have to look too in depth into it. You're going to have massive surf in the Gulf of Mexico here, especially Louisiana and west. I'd be breaking out the wetsuit if I was down there, believe it or not, folks, because I like nothing better than a 15-foot wave. Well, I like some stuff better, but I like a 15-foot wave a lot. Here's a water vapor map, and man, oh man, we got some serious convergences going on down there. We're going to actually look at this on the NASA GOES because this is big time. And as the sun rises, some of this stuff is going to get more intense. And I'm not going to tell you why in this video because we got to save that for another one. I guess I got a little carried away on the DJing on this track. But I love Mike Tyson, so cheers. Shout out Mike Tyson. This track is called Perfect, and it's available, I think, all of nowhere. Maybe we'll upload it later. And maybe not, because maybe somebody's going to buy it for about $600,000. Part of the reason why we seek cycling sponsorships, folks, is to get people's messages out there. Just in case you weren't aware. Jeez. We want it on the jerseys for a reason, because we use the products or services that are advertised on us. We are human billboards, and that's part of the reason why we do what we do. So there's that situation building on over Texas right now, and there is one hell of a convergence zone. We've got air going the wrong way here. This air right here. This is one of those meridional jet stream flow situations, and it's all based on magnetic fields, folks. And we just had a magnetic field flux because 10.7 centimeter radial flux jumped right back up as that new sunspot formed. So we're going to zoom in on this storm over Texas here. We're going to open up the chat. I'm going to play another track, and then we're going to get out of here as quickly as possible. We're going to have to zoom in on a different spot here. We're a little bit too far behind the main storm line. This is an amazing, amazing water vapor map right here, folks. This is one for the history books. Hopefully, everybody's going to be all right down there. There's going to be some nasty, nasty storms all across the southern U.S. So please be prepared. Be a Minuteman today on April 18th, the anniversary of Paul Revere's famous ride. And also the anniversary of Paul Revere's famous arrest by the British. So yeah, be a Minuteman, folks. Cheers. That was the wrong window. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Yes, and there are ads. We won't make it watch the ads twice. We'll go back to the water vapor map. Let's do a different zoom here. Let's go all the way up to the leading edge of this beast, and it is one beast. It's about a 1,200 mile long convergence line there, and it is ultra chaotic. So there's going to be all kinds of power outages and destruction in front of this thing all day today. It's going to conveniently miss my location, and for that, we thank you. Perhaps that's a meteorological birthday present. Let's do a Southern Texas zoom also, as this thing is crazy. Cosmic ray flux, anybody? Look at those lines. Look at those parallel lines. That is all caused by ultra low frequency radio emissions, folks. Yes, radio emissions. The Earth's atmosphere is a semiconductor. All right, let's move on. This video is probably getting pretty long at this point. Some of our music is available at SoundCloud. Links in the description. SoundCloud.com/Daniel-Nigro-2. I've been a public figure since 1997, by the way, folks. So I'm used to this kind of stuff. Now, we changed the Golden Cap Productions SoundClick page. This is soundclick.com/Golden Cap Productions. That's my record label. Here's the tracks. They're 100% original, and you can buy all of these. Just click on Buy Song. There you go. 99 cents. We don't even charge you $1. We're undercutting the competition with better music that is sold out to nobody ever. Here's a transience of Cygnus X3. What the hell is going on with Cygnus X3? I think maybe we ought to send an email to the Neil Garrels Burst Alert Telescope, because this right here is serious. I'm going to leave that on the screen for a minute so you guys can pause it. Look at the other graphs. If you're not familiar with this thing, it's the tail of the swan, Deneb, at which Göbekli Tepe is oriented, and practically all the pyramids in the world, because it's the celestial North Pole at the other end of the precessional cycle. I've never seen it do that before, and I've been watching it for a solid year. Anyway, let's move on to other things, instead of things as creepy as Cygnus X3.
It's the music.
Now, I put this video up yesterday, and I don't want to get banned from YouTube or have a video demonetized, so I'm only going to play you a little clip. I put this up in our community post, and while I was watching it, I complained about this crap. This is where they like to put their global warming thumbnail, the link to the global warming article on Wikipedia. So I sent feedback, and I said, these are stupid, and you don't have to tell me how to link to the Apollo space program. This is not a moon landing denial video, folks. This is a video about the space program and what's being studied, and some pretty serious stuff that you may be interested in. So let's just play a little clip here and not get banned or copyright protected.
Magnetic field. The 3,000-mile scar, the early D-ring magnetic collapse of Val Marineris, huge shield volcanoes from the heavy bombardment that helped form the atmosphere.
Let's just leave it there. If that's not a teaser for this video, I don't know what is. And I will leave links in the description to that. Now, since we amassed some more data here while I made the live stream, let's look at another view. How about 94 angstroms? Before we close this thing out and read the chat finally. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for joining us, folks who did not get to the live stream. I know we do it ultra early. There's a reason for it. Here's just today at 94 angstroms. That's about 8 hours and 45 minutes. Sunspot 2739. And the soon to set Sunspot 2738. And by the way, if you weren't aware, Sunspot 2738 has made a trip all the way around the sun. That was called Sunspot 2736. And then it did a full Carrington rotation. And now it's there. Magnetic connections are faster than light. Yes, correct, part-time friend. And think about the implications on that for the rest of cosmology and the universe. Yeah. Yes, magnetic connections are faster than the speed of light. Yes, they are. The land of the Democratic Republicans. Cheers. That's true. We are Democratic Republicans. We are a constitutional republic. We're not really big on mob rule. Democracy, I think not. Thank you for asking, Graceful Cat. The link is lightningmaps.org. That's all. Let's go to it. Good point. Because there's going to be a lot of lightning. So yeah, lightningmaps.org. It can save your ass. We don't do bike races in severe thunderstorms. And you shouldn't do very much of anything outside in severe thunderstorms. Lightning is a way to get killed real dead. Let's look at the leading edge of this thing as it moves. This map will show you the storm moving, and it's moving fast. Richmond. Middletown, it looks like you're next. Now this thing is so detailed that when you zoom in sufficiently, it will show you the predicted sound waves. It is amazing. And it looks like Indianapolis is getting pummeled. Shout out Indianapolis. Thanks for the reminder about the lightning maps. Very good. And that is the value of a live chat. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's about time to get the hell out of here, as once again, there are a lot of things to do. So remember, when you're staring at the sun, don't drink. And if you drink, stare at the sun anyway. Just don't drive. And since it'll never be now again, may the solar wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your arteries.